Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another Dragon Ball figure news video. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to do better by you this time. Obviously, last time with the Kong, aka Beast Deities Broly, I made a video about it on the channel after the pre-orders were closed because I was like, oh, well, surely, they're not going to have any shenanigans where, the pre-orders will be closed by the time I upload this video. And of course, last time that's exactly what happened. So I was literally on the 5K website looking at some other things that I've been wanting to pick up from Kong. And lo and behold, I'm like, wait a minute, why can't I click on the link for Broly again from my order? And why are there two new Brolys? Yes, that is right. Broly is not only available for pre-order again, let's take a look at all three of these, but, right, as you can see, this one is the quote-unquote original one. They call this the Fenrir First Appearance version, which is basically just your standard Broly movie Broly with the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. They also now have this one, which is the Beast Deities 10-inch Fenrir long hair. We talked about this in the previous video, that this is basically going to be the Super Saiyan 3 one. The box looks very funny. Now, I will admit, I'm hoping that the hair isn't actually yellow in the final product, because I know that the hair here is obviously yellow, and of course Super Saiyan 3 Broly's hair is green and not yellow. I'm thinking that that will probably be corrected, as I'd imagine they're just using this PNG from Super Saiyan 3 Goku that they had before and not for Broly. And what's interesting is that they have this battle damaged one as well, which we'll talk about all of these in literally like 2 seconds here. But I just wanted to show you that if you do want to obviously get these, oh, full price for 70, the pen holder. Oh, okay, right. This is their quote unquote bundle discount, right? How they try and avoid copyright, because obviously the whole thing is that, oh, the faces are bookmarkers and the, the pen holder, right, is this, which is the hair, and then obviously the body. But either way, though, right now, basically what you're going to be paying for is that the figure total is going to be 85 plus shipping, and right now it is a deposit of 20 bucks, and then later on the second payment will be 65. Now keep in mind, this figure is not estimated to release until Q1 to 2 of next year. So you are going to be waiting a fat minute for this guy, right? Unfortunately. But obviously, if you want to be able to get your hands on this, you're going to have to pre-order him now. So let's see, because 5K did actually post on Instagram a little bit more details of this guy right here, because obviously they, kind of show you what you're actually going to be getting. So this was the initial post that they said 3 hair kits decided, right? With the 3 colors, green, left reference, Omni God, and UI. Now, literally nobody knew what the heck they were talking about. And also, if you notice here too, they talked about, of course, in a previous post, which I believe I included in a previous figure news video, that they were actually going to be improving the head and the hair. And this looks to be the improved version, which is really cool, because you can see with this one, right, they note that this was the draft old face and hair, right, from the old photo, right? So you can definitely tell that they not only increased the size of the head, right, but they also increased how big the hair is, which is really cool. I think this head definitely looks a lot bigger. So here's what's really interesting, right? Obviously, all of these individual posts is basically what we literally just looked at, oh, like, go pre-order them, right? Like, it's here, blah, 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 blah. But what we want to see, obviously, is these. So first of all, the quote-unquote long hair version, we did already know that this was going to be Super Saiyan 3 Broly, right? Which is definitely looking like what this is going to be. Dude, you're going to need a crazy stand for this. This is going to be very, very interesting to see how heavy this guy is, considering that Kong's hair is usually very, very heavy already on like the regular size body figures. Dude, they're gonna have to have some crazy joints to be able to make this thing work. But very, very interesting, because this person did also comment, right, will the hair be green or yellow? I'm assuming it's because they're asking from that picture that is on the website, right, of the hair being yellow here. And they said not final yet for the hair color. So again, right, like we know that this isn't necessarily, there's the one we're looking for, going to be the final color. So Either way, this was very interesting. Is there going to be a non-battle damaged body with regular hair? Yes, which is obviously what we saw before. So far, obviously, this is just the modeling for this figure, but this guy looks fantastic already, I gotta say. This guy looks awesome. And we also have the battle damaged version here. So this is the other one, right? So this is really, really interesting. I'm really curious as to how this is actually going to work. So it's clear that the battle damaged one is, you know, going to have battle damage on the pants and on the cloak, right? Like, no doubt, right? You can see that on the screen. And obviously, compared to, like, the, you know, we'll look at the full Broly here. Of course, this is standard Broly. This is what he looks like, right? And then compared to the battle damage version, right, you can see the difference, which is pretty cool. And obviously this, like, battle damage version, I don't think is from anything specifically in terms of the, like, actual damage. Like, I don't really think I can recall, unless it's maybe, like, referencing where in some video game where, you know, like, Dragon Ball characters can take damage as they fight, because obviously that's a mechanic in some games. Maybe they're referencing it from that, or maybe it's in like a Dragon Ball Heroes thing that there's a battle damage Broly that I'm just not remembering. It could just be battle damage for the sake of making another figure easily and being able to sell a third figure, right, with the same mold. That could definitely be it. And I'm not opposed to it, because I think battle damage figures are pretty cool. But here's the interesting thing, I will say. So as you can see, right, this looks to almost be like Super Saiyan 3 hair, right? And what's interesting about this is that they censor the bottom of this one, right? So I'm wondering if this is the same model, right? That's like the Super Saiyan 3 one and the battle damage one. But on the final figure, this is going to be two different ones, but they don't have the model made yet, but they wanted to put up the pre-order. So they had the image of this guy from the front and had it as a different color, and they just censored the battle damage on the bottom, right? And then obviously they had the Super Saiyan 3 hair. It's kind of interesting too. I will say, obviously this looks like Super Saiyan 3 because you can tell from the hair behind Broly, right, behind his back, that obviously there is a little bit of long hair there. I know it's a little bit hard to see because it's kind of like peeking out a little bit, but you can see it if you look closely, you know, under his armpits and above his shoulders there. But the interesting thing is I feel like I could definitely be tripping on this, but the fact that the hair looks a little bit more like spread out on the top above his shoulders than normal Super Saiyan 3 hair, and it looks kind of like almost tapered in a little bit, like from how much it should be spreading out under where his armpits are. It almost makes me wonder if this is going to be like Super Saiyan 5 Broly. And I do remember way back when they were teasing Broly as a figure that Kong / Beast Deities was going to make, they did mention that at one point, but I think that they said that, right, that was going to be different with Super Saiyan 4 Broly too, because obviously the fur has to be a different mold. So this could definitely still just be Super Saiyan 3. That's just a little bit of, you know, like crackhead theory on my part, but it would be interesting if literally like the different versions, because usually the Kong versions tend to be like a little bit on the different side, but it would be kind of weird if it's just like, you know, this one is just normal Super Saiyan 3 Broly, right? This one is just normal Broly, and this is just Super Saiyan 3 Broly, except his pants have battle damage, right? Like, I feel like that would be a little bit weird because it's not enough difference between the usual ones that they do. You know, usually either the entire bodies are different for like the color scheme or the hairs of them, right? Like with the Super Saiyan 3s, it was like regular 3Ku, battle damage 3Ku with the blue hair, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, and then battle damage Vegito with the Super Saiyan Blue 3 hair, right? And they all had all the blue hair was Super Saiyan 3 Blue, right? Like the fan form. Even for like, if we go back to 5K, and we search, let's see, if we just go to like Beast, right? We do search and then we'll do Beast because obviously that'll come up with Beast Deities. If we go here, right, obviously this is a bunch of their Goku figures that they still have up for pre-order. These guys, right, obviously the heads are not going to be the animal heads. It'll be like, you know, Super Saiyan 2 basically is what it's supposed to be. But for these, right, you can see that obviously, you know, bear in mind the head will be appropriate for what the head is supposed to be on there. But they have, like, you know, Super Saiyan 2 Goku with the battle damaged, and then they have SSBKK, right, which will obviously be the, you know, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken head, right, and then obviously this one is Clone Goku. I forget what head this one's going to have, but either way, obviously the body is different, right, this one from Fighters. Excuse me, I'm tripping over my word. I couldn't say Fighters for a second. And then this one with like this really interesting clear body. This one I don't think I'm actually going to get, even though it is cool. And funny enough, is that the only one with battle damage on the leg? Yeah, that is interesting. But it's just like clear parts, basically. Like, it's cool, but I would prefer if they did that with the hair. Like, I feel like having it on the body looks a little bit weird, you know what I mean? You could probably still get some cool pictures with it, but I feel like having it on the actual gi is a little strange. But regardless, though, my point being is that obviously these are all pretty different, right? All things considered, right? Obviously, all three of the main ones are colored differently and will have different heads, and obviously this one's kind of like the quote-unquote special edition one. But even so, it's still like a different mold, so it's just kind of interesting that, you know, if that is really what this is going to be with, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Broly and then normal and then just battle damage Super Saiyan 3 Broly, which obviously you could just swap the heads if you wanted battle damage normal Broly. I just think that's kind of interesting that that's the way that they're deciding to do this. So regardless, though, yeah, because in all these notes they say draft not final, it's mainly battle damage Broly, right? And then obviously for this one they just say draft not final, it's mainly regular version with long bulky hair. And even people seem to be a little confused about this, right? Because obviously you can see, I'm sorry, is this Super Saiyan 3 or battle damaged, right? So people seem like they're a little bit confused on what this may actually be in terms of like what the head's going to be. So that'll be interesting to see. But my point of obviously, you know, telling you about all this is that if you would like to pre-order this figure, please do it now. Because if you are unfamiliar with what happened last time, right? The pre-order for this guy went up at like 3 a.m. or something ridiculous like that, right? And basically they had it up for pre-order for like a couple hours and then it immediately went down. And that was so strange because obviously usually with Beast Deity stuff, that's not the case, right? I mean, you can even see with these have been up for like a fat minute to be able to purchase these Goku figures. Like I think it's been maybe 4 months, maybe 3. It's definitely been more than 2, I think. Regardless, though, with this guy last time, what happened is that they posted him, they posted all the information, they had the pre-order go up, and then they, you know, posted on Instagram later, okay, pre-orders are now closed, and they didn't have it on the 5K website anymore. They took it down. And they said that basically it was a thing where it was going to be like made to order, where this time they wouldn't be getting extra stock and stuff like that, right? That you had to order it during that window, otherwise you weren't going to be able to get one. So unfortunately this time yet again, they're not you know, they're not like basically giving you any information as to if these pre-orders will be a limited thing again, where you have to get the pre-orders in now, or if these will be up for a while. And maybe because they saw how popular Broly was and they saw the comments on Instagram of people being like, what, this isn't fair, I didn't get a chance to be able to pre-order the regular one during that limited window. You know, maybe what they're doing now is that they're having it available for you know, pre-order for a longer time, and they're making more of them because they realize that this is such a popular thing. I'm not really sure, but what I would tell you is if you are interested in this, definitely get your pre-order in now. Again, for pre-ordering these, it is only 20 bucks right now, and then you will pay the rest later if you are interested in these. So again, I'm just trying to keep you informed. If you are interested, of course, links are in the description below to all of the stuff that we took a look at in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section if you are going to be copping these guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.